How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. This is Big Day Dave, and this is a top 10 maps series here for Farming Simulator 22. And as we wind down Farming Simulator 22 and begin to spin up Farming Simulator 25, it occurred to me that I wanted to do at least one more top 10 maps list for this series here. But I got to thinking about it, and what I realized is that my maps, my top maps, are not really going to shift around a whole lot. It's going to be relatively the same. There's going to be, at bare minimum, a lot of repeats that I have put out there from videos past. So I got to thinking about it and realized, well, if my list isn't necessarily going to change too dramatically, well then maybe I ought to think outside the box. And I got to reaching out to several of the channel members here and said, hey, would you like to participate in a top 10 maps list? So I got a whole bunch of people say yes, I would love to tell everybody what my top 10 list is. So that is what this series is going to be, and then at the very end of the series, it is going to culminate in what is my final top 10 maps for Farming Simulator 22. So we're going to start out with WillTGaming. WillTGaming, also known as the FS Encyclopedia. Thank you, Will, so very, very much for sending in your list, for sending in your comments as to why you think these are in your top 10. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. And we're going to start out here with number 10, Court Farm Country Park by Oxygen David. And this is Court Farm Country Park, and this map is absolutely beautiful. WillTGaming is quoted saying it has to be on everybody's tops list. LOL, and I 100% agree. This map is stunning. There's so many areas on this map that just make it feel like home. If we go out into third person, kind of the hover view here, you can see you get this beautiful starting farm, but more than that, it feels like it's been around for the ages. You've got rusted gates, you've got kind of dulled paneling on the sides of these barns, you've got just kind of algae growing on the top of the roofs here. You've got so much attention to detail that this map has, and this starting farm, we've only just scratched the surface of this starting farm. You can see all the kind of weathering on these builds. It feels like this farm has been here and has stood the test of time. And then you've got custom barns, custom pastures for your animals. I mean, where could you go wrong with this? You got some more pastures back here in the back. I mean, absolutely amazing. And then you've got this beautiful little cow barn right here. I mean, you can't go wrong with a starting farm like this. This has everything that you could possibly want in the ways of a starting farm. Got places to store things, it's got animals that you can, take care of, and then you've got grass fields, you got arables, you've got so much stuff that you can do on this map. And then on top of all of this, not only do you get to, be a farmer and do everything that you want to be able to do here, but you can go around purchasing certain plots of land to have as generators, such as this little campground that's right here next to your starting farm. I mean, you purchase this, and it's like you're basically just renting out your land to people who want to come out and camp by it. How cool is that? And it functions as a generator. It actually gives you revenue, passive revenue, as time goes on. And then you look around and you can see this is just nestled in the countryside, along these little like built up towns. You've got custom sell points here, like this one here. I actually believe this is a custom production point, if I'm not mistaken. And I mean, just wow, the beautiful windmill that you have going on here. Let's pan out just a little bit. Look at that. That is just breathtakingly beautiful. And you've got these custom sell points like this one here. And just everywhere you look, there's just beauty to behold on this map. Some more sell points. And the one thing that the map maker did that is something I always really look hard and long for when it comes to my maps that I like and that I want to play on are the borders, the kind of custom picture that the map maker puts in. And as you can see, the landscape just appears like it just continues on into eternity around the globe. I mean, that is just absolutely stunning, and it's really few and far between where a map maker actually puts the time and energy and effort into the whole periphery of the map, the non-playable area of the map. But when you do find a map maker like Oxygen David here, who puts a map or puts the border around their map to make it out to be this kind of visually appealing periphery, that is something special. I mean, you can just go around and you can see just how it just looks like it just continues on. Yeah, it's a lower resolution, not a huge deal. But then as we continue on throughout this map, you've got all these different little odds and ends and bells and whistles throughout the landscape here. I mean, it's just absolutely gorgeous. Some of these areas are very similar to like a UK style, where you've got the hedging that lines the fields, as well as these little 2 tracks like this one here that just kind of is lined with hedges and the whole 9 yards. It is just, again, this is a perfect example of a beautiful European style map that has plenty of life and plenty of legs to this particular one, and it allows you for tons of customizations, tons of stuff that you can go around and do on this map. Yes, between grass care, arables, even a little bit of forestry, you are not going to be disappointed with this map. Number 9. Eldorado by Case IH Brazil and Connect Modding. And here we are in Eldorado, and we go from Court Farm Country Park to Eldorado, where in Court Farm Country Park we had a very well established farm that looked like it had been there throughout the ages, to now a itty bitty teeny tiny, this is it. This is your starting farm. You get a truck, a house, a sleep trigger, and a wardrobe trigger. You're done. That's it. You are starting with practically nothing besides 100K when you're on new farmer mode. And that's it. No equipment besides this truck. This is a tale of 2 maps. But what makes this map special is, and I will quote Will on this, the level of detail. I thought this was a Giants map. LOL. Yes, 100%. This map is absolutely stunning. When you look at the level of detail, I mean, you just look at the starting farm, quote unquote starting farm here. Yeah, it's only a house and it's only kind of this covered awning, but then you look beyond it. You've got this communications tower here. You're basically just nestled in the heart of the town. Little church right there. You're right next to the bus station here, but then you continue on and you have the just kind of like the little sports complex that's right here, which is, I mean, just all the little details around here. The really cool Case IH shop that's right here, right down the street from you. I mean, yeah, you're starting with next to nothing, but I mean, this is one of those maps where you can come on here and really start to, I mean, do a real start from scratch. But then you come out here and you look and you got this really cool kind of highway system here with these very intricate turnoffs and you know, off-roads and stuff like that. You can continue to go down and then eventually you make it out to this giant, absolutely massive facility out here. This sugarcane processing plant is absolutely incredible. I mean, you come in through the front gates here, you've got this huge power grid right here next to it, and I can see why, because you look and you see all this stuff that's going on here. You're going to need a lot of energy to be able to make this function. But, I mean, just look at all the level of detail between the concrete and the kind of red dirt that's here. You got these giant piles of kind of spent sugarcane, and we can just keep on going around and just seeing all the details, all the weathering on the side of these buildings. You've got the kind of slurry lagoons that you have, the dirty water lagoons that are outside of the facility here. I mean, just again, just continuing around, and you've got custom productions, custom buildings. I mean, you really got something really special here. And again, all the details that are out here on this particular map is just incredible. I love how you got the kind of nasty dirt that's over here coming, like being spread onto what should be nice clean concrete for the road here. But I mean, that's just a really cool level of detail. You've got, traffic that's coming in and out and it's dragging the dirt onto the roadway. That's really, really cool. And then you continue to pull around and you're seeing all these holding tanks. But again, the intricate network of road structures that's on this. You've got all these little kind of dips and divots here that I don't necessarily know why they would be here, but I mean, that was put there with a purpose. It's not like it was just kind of, an oversight, at least as far as I can tell. But you've got a good range of things that you can do here. You can do grasslands, you can do arables. There's even a bit of forestry if you want. I mean, there's tons of stuff. And then again, you got the rolling stacks of smoke and steam that's rolling out of this giant facility here. And then as soon as you leave that area, it turns into like a whole different beast of a map. It's wide open, it's expansive. Like you're in kind of town there and it feels small. Like it should feel like itty bitty. But then the moment you kind of creep outside of the area there, all of a sudden you've got yourself something that's wide open and really expansive. And you can really do a whole bunch of work on this map. It's going to take you a bit of effort too, because you can't just dive right into something. You've got to buy property. You've got to buy equipment. I mean, the whole 9 yards. You are going to put in some sweat equity on this one, but it's going to be a lot of fun doing it. Number 8, American Falls by Lancy Boy. Now, unfortunately, at time of recording, this map is not currently residing on the mod hub, and that's because Lancy Boy has taken it down to perform some updates. As far as I'm aware, it is coming back. Unfortunately, I'm not sure when, but the reason that it is on this top 10 list is because, and I quote, "The amount of detail is great, makes it feel alive." Yes, it does. It absolutely does. The map, when it first came out, was absolutely stunning and breathtaking, and if you read the description that was in the mod hub, it has a backstory that kind of piggybacks off of the story from Stone Valley 22. So it's kind of got a lore within the map itself, which is actually really kind of cool. And again, it's a very minimalist style of map, to where you start out with a vehicle, a truck, and that's it. That's all you get. You don't get a starting farm, you don't get starting equipment, you just get a vehicle to kind of wander around the map, and then you've got to basically figure out everything that you want to do from there. And then you get the amount of detail that is available on the map is breathtaking. Lancy Boy does not disappoint with this or any other map that they have produced. It is absolutely one of a kind and breathtaking. Not only that, but it is perfect for anybody who wants to come out and do a bit of forestry, wants to do a bit of arables, a bit of grass, whatever you want to do. This map can handle it all, and it is just absolutely fitting of a very nice and beautiful looking American style map. I wish that it was on the mod hub. I wish I could be showing it off at this point in time. Hopefully in the not too distant future it will be back. Number 7, Stone Valley 22 by Lancy Boy. And yet again, this is another map that unfortunately I cannot show at time of recording because it is not available on the mod hub. But once again, it makes its way on here because of how amazing this map is. It is, from what I understand, a temporary takedown for this map, but be on the lookout for when it comes back. Now, WillTGaming says, and I quote, "Great map overall," and that is 100% accurate. This map was one of the best maps to play, and the reason being is because of how intricate and how detailed this map is. There are so many spots on it, specifically around the fields themselves. It was one of the first maps that I was introduced to that really kind of made it to where farming had to be almost difficult. It wasn't just a straightforward that you just kind of go back and forth on. You're having to deal with gullies. You're having to deal with all these different outlets. You're having to deal with a field that is actually broken up into multiple different sections. There's so many different intricate details and so many different things that you have to deal with. And again, similar to American Falls, it has perfect perfect layouts for arables, for grass, for forestry. Pretty much anything that you can or want to do here on Farming Simulator 22 is available on this map, and it is badly, badly missed, and I hope that it comes back sooner rather than later. Number 6, BallySpring by Irish Connor, Glengar Boy, Erie Agri Modding. And this map is honestly one of the best pioneer maps that we have for FS22. And what do I mean by that? I don't mean this is a map where you come on and you just kind of start with nothing and you just kind of go out in the middle of the woods and you do your thing. No, this map was a spearhead, a front runner for some of the biggest advancements that we are going to get here in Farming Simulator. What do I mean by that? Well, before I go into that, let me quote WillTGaming as he says, "The amount of details and baby animals." That's right. The amount of details on this map is stunning. It's spectacular. But one thing that this map spearheaded and brought for the very first time here to Farming Simulator 22 are these little guys. Look at these. They're little baby cows and little baby shit. You got babies everywhere. All throughout this map and all throughout all the different styles. You get different breeds, you get different species on this map. And it's because of BallySpring specifically that allows us to have baby animals, and maybe single-handedly the reason why that we are going to get baby animals for Farming Simulator 25. And I could be wholly wrong about that, but I'm willing to say that this is probably one of the reasons why we're getting it for certain, because you know, this was such a huge push and it really brought something to the Farming Simulator world that was really, really special. Now, as we look around here at the starting farm, I mean, this is just laid out absolutely beautifully. Got plenty of grass area. This map is going to be absolutely perfect for those who loves doing grass and loves doing arables. I mean, you can see you got tons of grass fields. If you like a nice European style map with tight hedges and tight roads and tight farms and tight spaces, this is a map for you. But look at all the details. You've got these beautiful, beautiful barns and buildings that are just kind of tucked and crammed into as small a space as possible because you don't have a lot of space to put it in. You got this really large slurry pit here. You've got a custom grain silo, custom custom bunker silo. Again, just you look around and this map is just beautiful in so many different areas. Got this really killer lake that's back here, leading on to the hillside and going into the countryside here. It's just spectacular everywhere you look, and there's so many different farms on this map as well. Each farm is unique and different and has its own unique opportunities to it. You know, we continue to look around and you got these really narrow lanes that are always kind of laced in between these hedges. You got these custom barns and buildings and sell points all throughout the map, and it just makes it look really nice. You do have these kind of productions that are a part of the kind of original, you know, breed of production points from Giant Software, but because of all the details that are placed in and around them, it really kind of hides and masks a lot of these kind of original production points that we're used to seeing. And again, because of the nice farms and nice buildings and stuff like that, it really helps to kind of just minimize the use of those old models. Again, you can do pretty much anything that you want to do on here. Tons of grass, and look at these. This is one of the first maps I can think of where they utilized different styles of traffic, different styles of vehicles to go around the map. That was one of the coolest features, in my opinion, next to baby animals, is because it wasn't just, you know, random cars and random stuff like that. You get all these different kind of, you know, tankers and tractors and stuff like that, and it made the community come alive. It really made it feel like it was something special. I mean, this map was already special because of baby animals. This map was already special because of the layout and the farms and everything that you see throughout this. But again, you see like a telehandler just going through here. Again, it just makes it come alive. And all the details, just like WillTGaming said, the amount of details on this map just makes it feel special. And this is a special map. And again, it was a spearhead. It led the charge for one of the probably greatest advancements here for Farming Simulator 22 going into 25. Number 5, Pallegney by MA7 Studio. And this is Pallegney, and as you can see, this map is stunning in every way, shape, and form. Between the starting farm, the details all around the map, the bridge that you can see in the background there, that's a train bridge, and it is just absolutely breathtaking. It is the centerpiece and focal point of the entire map. I'm going to quote WillTGaming, and he says, "The amount of realism and the details to this map, it feels alive." And 1,000,000% accurate statement right there. As you can see, just here on the starting farm itself, you are right here posted right next to the main road here. But you get a nice little farm shop where you can produce several bits of production points, including mustard, like jarred mustard. You've got the beautiful gateway entrance here alongside of said production points. You get a couple of little entrance points. You get a nice cow pasture and barn right here, a little chicken coop that's tucked away in this section of the building here. I mean, it again, just like the Court Farm Country Park, this map, this farm feels established, like it's been here for a very long time, and evidenced by a giant hole in the roof and all the decay and the kind of weathering along all the buildings that you have here on the farm. Again, you got this big storage area that can be taken up either by equipment, or it's got bale storage here. You got several bunker silos and so on and so forth. And you're right here on the outskirts, right on the very edge of the town here. And if you wander in, you see this beautiful church. It's right here that has bells playing randomly throughout the day. You got the stores. You've got all sorts of different custom production points, like this one here, the grain mill. Now, the grain mill is absolutely ridiculously expensive at $800,000 to purchase this. I mean, but then you continue on, and again, this bridge, this train that runs throughout the middle of the map here is supported by this bridge, and just look at the details of this bridge. It is stunning. Then you go off to the side over here, and you got the custom sawmill that's to the side here. You got plenty of stuff to do on this map between forestry, arables, and grass. You can do just about anything on this map. And again, custom productions, custom sell points, you've got the lot. And if we pan in just a bit, the beauty of the undulations along this map set alongside of this custom made bridge that's all along the entirety of the map, just everywhere you look, it is just detail, 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 and it is beautiful. The animal dealer up here kind of nestled on this little rocky kind of outcrove here. Going through the rest of this, you've got just so many different areas, and it just feels like almost like, I don't want to say like different maps, but just like almost different terrains in some parts, because you got this really high elevation up to the north here, and then it kind of dips down in the valley where the river kind of comes crashing through. You've got a bunch of grasslands that are kind of nestled in between. You've got tons of different cow pastures, sheep pastures that are built into the map. A custom silo here for the train, as we see the train go passing by right now. Perfect timing, by the way. Again, you got custom farms, and you got several farms that you can purchase, this one being one of them. This map is just absolutely stunning. You just kind of look through, and you got this little creek river that kind of passes through here, the bridges that go over top of it. I mean, this map is special. I did a series on this map, and I loved every second on this map. You can see the Kloss store that's right here. Again, custom store, just details, 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 details. And every single portion of this map is unique. You're not going to see, you know, anything that's going to be relatable to any other map on the mod hub. This thing is special. It is unique and it is one of a kind, and it is absolutely breathtaking. No matter where you go, no matter what you look at, it is just wow, just breathtaking. Number 4, Mars the Mission by Farmer Bob and Superfly 1842. And this map, we went from deep in the heart of France to outer space. To quote WillTGaming, it is so different from any other map in so many ways. Not only is this map different from so many maps, it is different. It is by far, there is no other map like this. There is not a single other map that is encompassing to this degree of imagination. The only one that comes close is one called Close to Home. But this one is so special because it is actually plausible. This is something that could happen in the future. Now, not only was this kind of a sleeper map, because when this first released, this map was nothing like what you see here before you right now. This map was actually kind of meh. It wasn't all that special. But we look at this map now, and this is a night and day difference. Night and day difference between the sheer number of productions that are available on this map. There are tons and tons of productions, each one of them given their own inputs, their own outputs. It is amazing. You get these custom animal pastures and that are built into these little biospheres here. I mean, just incredible. The amount of detail that is on this map is next level. You get greenhouses that are tucked into these greenhouses, or not even greenhouses. You get greenhouses that are tucked into these biodomes, as well as what the animals that are living here. I mean, just so much in the ways that can be going on here. And again, you are responsible for so much. I mean, you own the entirety of the map, so you have tons of work that needs to be done, tons of stuff that can be done. And I mean, ultimately, at the end of the day, what you're trying to do is you're trying to work towards a goal, and that goal is to not only be a successful farmer, but to be able to produce as much product as needed to be able to fill this board. This is your kind of goal board. So you want to produce everything here and get this board, and this is an interactable board, by the way. You want to fill this up to 100% of all these individual products, as well as kind of taking a look, whoops, if I can kind of get into this, at the kind of mission parameters. It gives you kind of an outline as to what your job here on Mars is. And it's just absolutely, just an absolute ball to think of. So you've got to not only produce productions, you got to not only do all the work as a normal farmer, but then you actually have goals that you're needing to strive towards. And then the amount of just custom buildings that are on this map is next level. Let's go to our main base here. You're in an underground vicinity here. It is just absolutely breathtaking. You kind of walk out here and you have just everything that your heart desires. You've got, I mean, you can actually launch a spaceship on this map. That's how unique and special this is. You come into this little hangar here and you say initiate the rocket, and check it out. This whole launch pad starts to come alive. It starts moving around and you get an absolute light show, as you can see here. And there it goes. I mean, how cool is that? And then not only that, but you get a custom train that kind of hovers around this little track here. You get spaceships that come in and out of the ports. I mean, just absolutely amazing. The amount of detail and the amount of creativity that is available on this map is just next level, next tier. Like I said, this map, when it first released, was really kind of just meh, in my opinion. But then, after it released and after it got its 2.0 update, wow, 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 is this map just next level good. Next level good. So yeah, come check this map out if you're looking for an out-of-world experience. Number 3, Millstown by Muddy Diggs. And this is Millstown. As you can see, it has a absolutely amazing looking starting farm and well set up to boot. And one of the best features I think on this map is the use of the red barn pack. I love that pack. If you are a very kind of American style player who loves to see the big red barns like myself, then this map will satisfy that itch. If you're trying to scratch it, this will itch it, because wow. The red barn pack is by far my favorite building pack. Now, I want to quote WillTGaming, and he says, "Just a great looking map overall." I 100% agree with this, and the reason being is because not only the use of the red barn pack, but just the general ebbs and flows of this map. If we take a look around, you can see the main starting farm, again, is just laid out very functionally, and it's a very nice starting farm. Very, very good in the ways of being able to just kind of get off your feet and get to work. You do get a little bit of generator right here with the windmill, and you can unload right off the bat onto the train, which is kind of a cool way of doing things, because you don't have to work on a transfer silo or anything like that. You just use an auger pipe and you can load right into the train that's right next to your starting farm. But then we look around and you can just see just the level of detail that is available on this map. It is just really a very nice and almost simple in some ways, but others it is extremely complex. And what do I mean by that? It's simple in the ways of how it's kind of laid out. It's simple that it is just a kind of nice, easygoing kind of map. A lot of squared off fields, a lot of things are just kind of easygoing. Uses a lot of the basic introductory production points, sell points, things like that. But it also is extremely complex in the ways that the production points, the things that it will make, there's tons of custom production points on this map that are just going to enhance the gameplay and enhance your ability to kind of give this map life of its own. And because of that, it's really nice in the sense that you have more to do than just kind of the standard fare. You go around and you're able to just breathe life into this map, even though it's using a lot of the a lot of the original production points and stuff like that. It does offer additional details that are kind of put around said production points, so it doesn't necessarily feel like it is the original kind of standard stuff that we're used to. And a lot of maps that use that kind of standard production stuff have a real hard time on kind of standing on its own legs and being its own kind of entity. But this one, I feel, does a very good job on kind of, hoisting itself up, that it has enough uniqueness and enough character to be able to stand on its own and separate itself from those standard production points. So overall, a very solid map and well deserving of the spot on this list. Number 2, Gatehead Farm 22 Crossplay by MJ Modding, converted by Marv. And this is Gatehead, and wow, is this map, this one came out of nowhere for me personally. This map is loaded with detail, and it has basically the tale of multiple different terrain types. Absolutely love this map. So we start out here on the main starting farm, and it's a relatively decent starting farm. It's nicely laid out. You've got plenty of storage for all the machinery that you could possibly need, and you even got a little bit of room to grow if you so choose. You've got a cow barn. You got some places for animals. I think you even have a chicken barn for the farm here. But the farm itself pales in comparison to the rest of the map. So I'm going to quote Will here. It says, "The amount of detail on this map and is based off a real life location. yeah, the amount of details is nuts. I mean, just one, look at all the details around the starting farm. You get all these kind of like collections of metals and kind of trash and just all this kind of stuff that's kind of just strewn about the farm. You got some cords of wood here. I mean, just all this kind of details, these things that just kind of adds to the immersion factor. But then you leave the farm and you start heading out and about. And wow, 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 does this map get intense really, really quick. You get beautiful undulations, but look at that. Look at the background there. I don't know if that's supposed to be a lake, a kind of inlet from a coastal area, but I mean, look at that. It is just stunning. We go from what feels like out in the middle of the country to now we're right here next to this kind of built up, you know, riverside or inlet side town here, and just absolutely beautiful. You get the dock, you get the beach, you get the kind of workable area here. Just every little detail just soaking it up. I mean, just wow, this is just breathtaking. And what I absolutely love is the use of the multiple color palettes here on the bank of the water here. You've got the kind of lighter stuff for the dry sand, the darker stuff for the kind of wet sand. I mean, just that little bit of detail is just absolutely huge. You get this little kind of playground area that's right over here. A little soccer, a couple upright posts. I think that's for rugby, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, just absolutely beautiful. And we keep on going through this map here. Everywhere you look, it is just beautiful, just absolutely gorgeous. You know, we got plenty of grass to work here. We got plenty of arables. Not a lot in the way of forestry or anything like that. This one's really going to be kind of your kind of grass and arables. That's really the kind of two things that you're really going to be looking out for. But you got custom productions, you got custom sell points, you got custom, pretty much everything on this map is like in a league of its own and unique, and that's kind of what kind of took me off guard. I mean, you got this awesome little construction area. Again, just the details, those small little things that really kind of add, and it's like the grains of sand that just keep on adding and adding and adding. Eventually you get that mountain just, that's what I feel like this map is just this little grain of sand, and the next grain, and the next grain, and the next grain, and so on and so on and so forth, until you get the final, like, accumulation of this giant mountain range. And it is just, oh, just absolutely stunning in parts. The terrain, the color palette, everything to do with this map. Wow, 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 wow. And again, you kind of, it's just all these different kind of environments I feel like there's here. You get this little kind of country lane that's right here into this roundabout, and you come out of this roundabout, all of a sudden you're on this like two-way divided highway. Like, this is awesome. And then you can go up this off-ramp here because you really can't go outside of it. You've got equipment that's kind of stacked off to the side here. This isn't your equipment. None of the truck, the trailer, the plow, all this stuff, this isn't yours to be able to use and to work with. But it's here because it makes it look like it's actually something happening. It makes the map feel lived in and alive. And that is what makes this map special, is that there's so many little hints of detail that brings it and takes it to the next level. Absolutely love this map. Go give it a check out because, yeah, I don't think that too many people will be disappointed if you do. Number 1. Alma Misouri by Celebuki. And I'm going to start this off by reading a quote from WillTGaming, and I laughed really hard when I read this. It says, "I don't really have to explain, LOL." Well, WillTGaming, you might not have to explain, but I will. So this map, for somebody like myself who grew up in a small town, it captured the essence of what it is like to grow up in a small town in the Midwest. It is just absolutely one of the best representations of an American style area that I have ever seen in this game. And I think it is well deserved of the top spot here on Will's list. I 100% think that this map is one of, if not the best maps out there. This map, if we just take a look around this starting farm, it's gotten a lot of updates over the past little while. And even with those updates, it's an amazing, amazing map. We've got all sorts of different stuff. We got a cow barn, sheep barn, horse barn. We got storage. We got the flat bottom storage bins. We've got chickens. We've got a house. And it's huge. It's a massive, massive farm. We take a look around. One of the prominent features here is this slurry silo that's kind of tucked around here around the back side of the farm. You've got so much stuff. And again, you got these little details. If you go out back here, you got this little trash pile that's out in the back here, which is just, again, just a little detail that just adds up to a lot. More trash here. You got some more details in the back here with a little work shed, little garden shed. But, I mean, the fields themselves and the undulations, the color palette, everything about this map just works so well with itself. And it just builds on top of builds on top and builds on top until you get this map in its full form. And wow, is it awesome. It's got a couple of farms here that you can purchase for this map. You got this little cow farm right here on the corner. And then you go into town here, and this is that essence that kind of captures the Midwest town. You come into town, and you've got American flags just hung up on the lampposts, and you just get this general sense of just small town America living. I mean, this is just absolutely breathtaking. It looks like so eerily similar to the small town that I grew up in. You go through town and you see these kind of, brick buildings, the just kind of standard flat, kind of buildings, but that's what it looks like. I mean, it just feels like home. But then on top of it, you got custom production points, you got custom sell points, like just all sorts of different stuff. And you've got the custom production points that produce different inputs and outputs. So you got things that will build on top of each other that have downstream effects. You got this huge train silo system that's right here. It's just, again, it works. It absolutely works for this map. And when everything's said and done, with everything kind of all added together, it's just so special. This map, I did a series on this map as well, and I, again, loved it. I absolutely loved it. The fields are laid out in such a way that are just very much unique, but they're not overbearing and overpowering to an individual. So this is a good example. This grass field here has kind of this little, I don't know, kind of peninsula, just kind of out on its own kind of thing. And it's not anywhere as difficult as like a Stone Valley, where the fields are really kind of all over the place, really kind of, kind of crazy at times. But you do get that uniqueness, and you do get the sense that you're going to have to put in the sweat equity at some of these locations in order to get the most, profitable returns. But you get a good range of different sizes, different styles, and all that stuff. You don't get any like standard squared off fields or anything like that. But each one of them is unique. It's shaped differently, and just makes for a very, very unique gameplay. And then throughout the fields here, you get these nice little shifts and undulation that really just, again, makes the map look and feel real and real special. So yeah, when everything's said and done, absolutely love this map. WillTGaming picked an amazing #1, and really the top 10 list, absolutely out of the park. Love the list, love the maps. Great job, Will. Thank you so very, very much for participating in this, because I had an absolute ball doing the research, trying to figure out some of the things about these maps, and kind of getting to know what kind of things that are relatable in each one of these maps that can be seen and interpreted as being special and something worth kind of projecting and crowing about. I mean, these maps are, according to Will, the top of his list, and I can see why. I can absolutely see why that anybody would want to see these as represented in a top 10s list. So good on you, Will. Again, thank you so very much for participating. And that's it. That is all 10 maps. I hope you enjoyed this top 10s map list from WillTGaming. If you did, please show me by liking, sharing, subscribing, following, commenting, doing all the things the algorithms enjoy you doing. It shows you're engaged with this channel, enjoying the content. And that being said, I hope you have a fantastic day. Take care.